In a short period of time, Jason Texler built San Marcos into one of the most respected football programs in the county. Earlier this week, he decided to step down as the Knights football coach. Coach Texler informing his athletes earlier in the week of his decision before agreeing to come chat with us. Coach Texler spending 7 seasons at San Marcos, posting a 56-28 record in arguably the toughest region in the county. And sure enough, true to his word, despite the fact that the rain is coming down, Coach, give me a pivot this way. What is it like to make a decision? This is one of those things when you look at the timeline of your life. This is one of the biggest periods of your life. Can you explain the decision?
Yeah, it was a real big decision. A lot of change kind of going on with me, and it just came a point. It's not a football decision for me. It was more of a professional business decision that I decided to step down and move on to some other things.
So you have to tell the kids that, and you know, kids are kids. I mean, it'd be one thing if you're walking into a room of $1 million athletes, but now you're talking teenagers who, like you said, you've built this relationship with them, you've built this program together, and you have to tell them you're moving on. What was that reaction like? You
know, they were quiet. Of course, it took them by surprise, and it's the least enjoyable thing is to tell kids that you care about, you love, that you're not going to be their coach anymore, and yeah, it's not fun to do.
So, as you look back on the years, great facility, great community, great league. I mean, it is an attractive. You've built that into let's put it this way: there's going to be no shortage of people interested in your job. Does that make it harder to say, "I'm leaving"?
You know, it's something that I definitely had to really think about. I told the kids that there's not a better program in the county. I mean, I can go to there's other good ones, but San Marcos football is one of the best programs in the county. So yeah, made it a tough decision to leave there because I love the kids and I love my coaches.
You have a great feeder program, great weight room, blah blah blah. I mean, there's a lot to be said about being the San Marcos football coach.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when you first took the job those years ago and you gave me the tour. You were like a kid in the candy store. You had.
Oh yeah, no,
it's a hop in your step there.
Yeah, the facilities rival anything around,
yeah.
And it's a nice place to coach.
As you look back on it, 7 years, chunk of time. What was your fondest memory as far as an achievement there?
Probably our last victory against Mission Hills, when the ref came up to me and said, "Hey, we're going to start running the clock because you're of a 35-point lead." That was a pretty interesting thing to
for those who don't know, but everyone does. You're a mile apart, 2 powerhouses, friendly rivalry, but a rivalry nonetheless.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And to win that one,
it was a lot of fun.
All right, so your next port of call will be as a member of John McFadden's staff down in East Lake. Could you talk a little bit about why you're joining the Titan program?
The district-wise, it was a good district in terms of taking my years as a teacher, and a job opportunity came open. So. As a teacher, I'm excited about what I'm going to be doing, and then the fact to get to coach with Coach McFadden and learn from him and be part of that great Titan football program, I'm excited about it.
You bring to him some insight into come postseason time when you're starting to play those schools that you haven't seen a lot that you've played against regularly. You bring a little insight, do you not?
Well, without a doubt. We see a lot of of course, North County teams, and then he'll be able to get me up to speed with all the South Bay teams that they have to face. So it should be a lot of fun. When
everyone talks about the North versus South rivalry, you've always said, the North is better. Now you're going to have to adjust that answer, are you not?
Well, I'm originally from the East County, so I was right in the middle. So I understand, there's good football everywhere now.
All right, so just a programming note for everybody who's watching at home. In about an hour's time, Todd Marinovich will be sitting in that very chair. You know his story well. It's a painful story. We're going to have that interview for you at 6:45. I bring up the promo simply because of the role a parent had in his life. Everybody knows the story of his overbearing father, who sure he did some good, but also did a lot bad, and sent his kid in a spiral. How do you deal with parents?
I think you have to be upfront and honest with them. Give them your opinion, and if they don't like it, they can, I guess, choose to go elsewhere. But you're focused on the team; they're focused on their kid, and so you just have to remember that.
Are they allowed at practice, or what's your rule as far as proximity?
We have some parents that watch football up in the stands. I don't let them, come down on the field. There needs to be a separation between what we're doing on the field and what they're doing up in the stands.
The game has evolved in a lot of different ways as far as rules, safety, how you teach it, how you play it, and also the NC2A transfer portal. While it's significant, it's just come on the scene at the college level. Here in the San Diego section, you could argue that the wormhole has been opened. Jerry Schneep doesn't like me to talk like that, but the fact is the kids have more freedom than they ever had as far as movement. How do you narrow the haves and have-nots of the high school, even the college game? It seems to me by opening up the transfer rules, you just widen that rift between who has good players and who doesn't have good players.
Yeah, I think it makes it real difficult. I think you just got to do the best job you can as a program and as a coaching staff. Try to stay on the cutting edge of what's going on, because that's what the parents seem to be, really interested in, and coach your kids well. And if the program starts doing well, kids will want to, stay where they're at, or parents will move their kids to your school. So. Yeah, you just got to coach the kids you got, and hope to do well.
So you don't worry about the politics of it all.
No, I don't think you can. I think we don't make enough money, and I don't have any more hair to lose to stress about which kid's going to be there and which kid's not. So the kids that are there, you coach them hard.
All right. So in preparation for this interview, because while most folks know you for your San Marcos fame, I know you best, or first met you back in the early 2000s when you talk about a lightning in the bottle season. 2005, little old El Cajon went toe-to-toe with mighty Oceanside in a D2 final, and you played them toe-to-toe, lost by 10, but it was just a magical season. We found this bit of tape. I want to get your reaction to it.
Championships are simply banners that collect dust in our gymnasium. But being a champion starts right here, right in your heart.
When you look at that video, what do you think?
Well, it was nice to see I had hair, but I think a lot of my core beliefs haven't gone away. I think that you push the kids to give them, give you everything they've got, and make sure that they know that you care about them as people and not just how fast they run or how far they can throw the football.
We're just starting to see some of those highlights. That was you went deep into the playbook, because you came out with something that featured Abraham Muhazy, long snap. He was like, how many yards behind center was he?
It'd be at least 7, but Abe just kept backing up as the season went.
So it seemed like you were in punt formation all year long.
Right.
And he just had the athletic ability to move around and find the open man or find the running lanes, and he went on to win the prestigious silver pigskin. Where does Abraham Muhazy rank in your list of great athletes?
He's the best football player I've ever had the opportunity to coach. His just feel for the game on both offense and defense, rivals anyone I've ever seen, and it was a real joy and a little bit unfair that my first year as a head coach, I got the best football player I ever, got to coach, but it was a lot of fun.
Is that your high watermark that year?
It's right up there. Just to do that at a school like that where no one respects you was a lot of fun.
It had a Hickory Hoosier kind of feel to it. Yeah. Before we let you go, can we just talk about Abe real quick on what he's doing in the community? And I mean, he's a great athlete, but what he's done after his athletic career, to me, is even more special.
Right. Yeah. No. He's really trying to give back to
El
Cajon Valley, and he's doing some stuff. He's owner of a basketball team.
Yeah.
And,
the Kings.
About to be a father, and I've already told him years ago, if it's a boy, I want him, and give him a football and start throwing the football around.
For those who don't know, before you became a football coach, you were a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, for a short amount of time I was.
What was that like?
It was fun. It was interesting. One thing I realized, in between doing the stand-up routines is I'd be drawing football plays where the comedians were doing whatever they were doing. So I knew
I know what they were doing.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be a football coach.
All right. So, with that said, we have to leave people on a humorous note. Everyone's dealing with the weather. Give me a joke, one from your repertoire that is not going to get me fired.
Okay, I'm going to steal this joke from
right into that camera.
All right, I'm going to steal this joke from my friend Malia. It always makes her mom laugh, so we'll see how my delivery is. What do penguins order when they go to get Mexican food?
What's that?
Burritos.
And we're so glad your football thing. We're all right, here's what we have cooking tonight on the ASR. We're going to be everywhere, folks, but there's only one spot that counts tonight. It's the Holy Bowl on hardwood. We will have the St. Augustine Cathedral highlights, plus post-game reaction from that. Plus, both Maddie and Brandon have stories. And as mentioned, Tom Marinovich is in studio in just a little bit. We will see you when the 6 p.m. newscast begins.